Right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Click that, everyone.
Okay, now maybe you want to welcome folks. I'm sorry, man.
Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead, Gabriel.
It's good. We can always hear Marek's poem at the end again. So valuable.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's great to see everyone. I am honored to be in this group of poets, Baba poets. It makes me always feel great to see everyone's beautiful face and hear your wonderful words. So I have the daunting job of starting out. So how much did you want? Like maybe two or three?
Yeah, some to start with something like that. That'd be good.
Okay. This is one I wrote when I was this year in a nursing home for 7 weeks.
Mm,
Gail was my assistant, by the way, wonderful
mm,
Gail here. And so this is kind of midway, I guess, but I learned a lot during that time. I'm not sure it actually relates to that, but I mean, but it's that's just so you have some background.
mm.
And it was actually pouring rain, and I was racing to get to the front porch so I could feel the rain. That's was an actual physical thing, but it turned into a poem. Racing towards the rain. Oh, master, all those years when I had no idea I was racing towards your rain. You reached into me, squeezing the life out of my heart, juicing me for all I was worth. But that was just a little dribble of sound. Little did I know as I listened into myself that I was pregnant with a thunderous storm which would heighten my eyes, causing me to grasp the brass posts of the bed as I pushed life into life. As my tears crawled from the sky, the sweetness of longing crawled into my throat. And a child of love began a new life. Now that one has grown, no one needs to remind her to race towards the rain. My shell is of, my shell of a tortoise body is left on the sheets. She takes my light hands in hers and smiles. This is what it takes sometimes to move towards your rain, Baba, that which you have been preparing us for all along.
Jai Baba. Yeah.
Jai Baba. And as some of you know, I've been writing. I wrote a whole bunch of poems at the during this war in the Middle East, especially at the beginning of the war. My family lives in Israel, and I have a strong connection there. So I'm reading you now. I stopped at a certain point. Thank you, Baba. Enough war poems. Um, but this one was about, I don't know, 3 weeks in or something like that. It's just called War. First came shock, pain and grief were sure to follow. But later came the fear, lurking in a bunker beneath the earth. It's taken me a month to get to fear. It's dark and dank down there. My insides are like golden jelly. My tears sprinkle openly, uselessly, lost in sand. Then I saw the thousands of soldiers, peacemakers, citizens of kindness, standing strong, and I called back my shock to gird me. I am steadied by my shock. It is the grid of my skeleton, cast as an outline against the florid sky, where the turtles of tanks wage war, and those with only hooks to hold the body together and clothes to scant sweep by in the wind. I am steadied by my shock because war is other. But I must not look away, or the fear will eat me alive. So I'd like to do one more just so I don't end on that, if that's okay. I'll do a little much more
Sure.
lighter.
Mm.
Okay. This one's called Alive for the Kissing. And I don't remember if I've read any of these before to you all, but I guess I will just read this one. Alive for the Kissing. More and more I realize I am not really me. It's not a vagueness. It's like I actually see. But that place in my chest, belly, and knees that was missing is now coming back alive for the kissing. And when I am full, my transparency to life and to world becomes so obvious. I have been so racked with pain, but when I sit on your porch tonight, I've let go the rungs of the ladder and am just sliding down to your sea. Rock into me, you say. And somehow I am fuller and more invisible than before.
Jay Baba, thank you, Gabrielle.
Jay Bob.
That like the second one particularly, I want to hear it again on the recording. You know, there was so much to take in. Thank you. Tony, you're next.
Okay, I'd like to also, just before I read my three poems, read a brief thing that I didn't write and make an announcement. There is someone who we know of who I think more people have heard Baba's name spoken because of this one very well-known person than anyone else in the world. It's just occurred to me now. Anyway, this is how his name was heard then. Little sisters of the sun lit candles in the rain, fed the world on oats and raisins, candled in the rain, lit the fire to the soul that never knew its friend. Meher Baba lives again, candles in the rain. Men can live as brothers, candles in the rain. And you may recognize that from Melanie.
Yeah.
And the thing that I want to announce is kind of sad, but she passed away last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wondered.
Passed away. And there was an announcement. I'm a Facebook friend. There was an announcement by her three children, and they're going to have some kind of online memorial. But they have requested that those who wish, at 10 p.m. Central Time, which is 11 here, and I guess 7 there, to just light a candle in her tribute to her and for illumination and to live as brothers. All right, so this is.
Thanks. Yeah.
Bon voyage, Melanie. Oh, I always felt she was my Baba sister. I've seen her quite a few times.
I just saw her name. I saw her name on Facebook this evening, and so I thought it was just a coincidence that you were reciting that poem, which I know by heart.
Yeah.
I see why you had said her name. So
now, probably more people heard Baba's than that, way more than anyone else. I didn't know what to do tonight, so I did a music concert here on Baba Zoom, and I mixed it. I alternated with poems, so I just happened to run across those poems, and I'll read some. You may have heard some of them here before. I'm not sure. These are ghazals. This is called Blessings. Every day in every way, I bless all things that come my way. The things I love expand with grace. The rest dissolve or leave my space. The atmosphere is vastly improved. how things get better when they're loved. Sympathetic vibrations grow and resonate wherever they flow. Inner visions take the field. Inner crops bring a bountiful yield. World affairs, once so despairing, shift to a place of love and caring. We help God keep his promise in this. By blessing it all, we receive love's kiss. This one is called Two Lines. There are two lines of life I could pursue, the past to the future, or the present to you. From old grievances to new versions thereof, or from blissful presence to the touch of love. I can choose to prove my judgments are true, or embrace the greatness of me in you. But embracing the greatness of you in me is so much better than choosing to see the same old shite I saw before, in variations, nothing more. So I choose the line that becomes a sphere in every moment, always here, for a future reflecting love's own face in this present moment by the beloved's grace. And this third one, the reason I'm here. Until this step is taken by you, beloved, what else can I do? Only you can transform this heart. Until you do, what can I start? Bless me with courage to seize this goal, and I'll be your channel. But first, make me whole. A cripple cannot run a race. A blind man cannot see your face. To launch 1,000 ships for me, beloved, first please set me free. I am not asking for ultimate wine, nor to become the beloved divine, but only this, make me clean and clear, that I may fulfill the reason I'm here. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Beautiful. Okay, Baba. Wonderful. Well, next we have Marcia Maltz. I see you're here. Yeah. Marcia, can you unmute?
Yeah,
you go.
unmute, yeah, except
Yeah.
for that, have everything on my iPad and what I was gonna read disappeared. So let me just, I want to read what I wanted to read. Anyway. Well, I'm just gonna pop up the way they came up because it's not what I planned, but anyway, that's Baba.
Okay.
Maybe somebody should go ahead of me.
Okay, we'll ask you again after the next person. Jeannie Ross is next.
Yeah,
Wait, yeah. Jeannie?
well, I actually found the one I was gonna
Oh.
start with. I wrote this January 14th. I believe it's almost morning and I haven't ended the day, organizing and reorganizing and reorganizing again. I'm a traveler, a cloud chaser. A glimpse of the sun fills my being with ecstasy, as does the glistening of spattered diamonds, white particles of, where did it go? Sorry. A glimpse of the sun fills my being with ecstasy, as does the glistening of spattered diamonds, white particles of light moving along in the lake, the current moving the glistening spectacular beacons of light, glistening, enveloping my very being. I close my eyes and take it all into my heart and soul. God radiates it back to all who are receptive to his call. Calling from the leaves on the trees and the howling, and I don't have a printer, so I didn't print it. I close my eyes and take it all into my heart and soul. God radiates it back to all who are receptive to his call. Calling from the leaves on the trees, the howling wind. I'd never heard the wind bellowing so loud. That is when I really dressed my soul in Baba, listening to the wind. The next morning, it was as though nothing ever happened, as still as a still in silence. I recall there was no storm. It left with yesterday. And each day we are reborn, each serving God in our own way. Deep surrender and dressing the soul in God. Oh, beloved God, you are all. Oh, from the heart, sent to the mind. Sometimes it seems that what is so close to us seems so far away. Life should be simple. Take away all the frills. What you have left is the inner you, your relationship with your relentless self. Nothing is written in stone. Heed this piece of advice. When the door is opened, step inside. If you hesitate, the portal closes, and you may wait a very long time for a gift of a new life to present itself again. We are all passengers of creation, swimming in the same sea. What seems to be differences is not reality. This life spent in illusion is but a dream. The true reality is we are all one. We are all different because we are part of a giant puzzle, and each piece fits to make the parts become the whole, from the Creator to all of us. I long for the journey home where it all began, remembering that we were all there when the original whim awakened by the sound of Om. The creation spilled out everywhere from within. The nothing is, and everything was, and it's all the same. There is no beginning, there is no end. Everything that was originally created still exists and does not exist. Comprehending and trying to make sense out of this life is not what matters. It is for each of us, where did it go? Okay. It is for each of us to search for the truth within. Whatever it is that you believe in, have faith in your choice. Don't jump around from guru to guru, from saints and false namesayers. Your soul will and always remain pure and clear. So clean out your house and put your junk in the trash. What a load to carry. Relieve yourself of the load. Impressions opposed by lifetime spent in evolving to each and every form, from stone to metal, to plants, to fish, to insects, to animals, and then to human form. Today is now. The past is a residue and is no longer relevant. To worry about tomorrow is a waste. So be in the moment. We all have the tools given to us by the Creator. Of course, all this is work. We work to make ourselves worthy of being in creation's light. We must let go of ourselves to find who we really are and what is our part in this great puzzle of light. Step out of shadow, be kind to yourself by loving others and not allowing fright and fear to determine your course in this life. Jai Baba.
Jay Baba, thank you. Beautiful.
Jai Baba.
Yeah. Jeannie Ross.
Okay, thank you. Oh, wait. I'm going to do one of mine and then a couple of Jeff Wolverton's. It's time for new beginnings, for shedding the old skin and way of being. Let it split down the middle like old snake skin. Let it fall away like an old coat no longer needed. New beginnings are here in each moment, so now I choose to be present, open, aware, in allowance, trust, compassion, and a semblance of joy. I am that I am. I am Baba's, and Baba is in me. I am a spark of God's divine love, the same spark that is in each of us. I now express in my own unique way. Free of fear and limitation that are now falling away. The heart is free to sing, free to cry out in love or pain, free to express love and inspiration flowing through me. The blessings in this life are endless, each creating another. What I took for pain and limitation were really gifts beyond measure from our beloved. And then a couple of Jeff Wolverton's. If you've been given a dirty cup, the beloved does not expect our cup to be perfectly washed and dried before he pours us his intoxicating wine. Don't let the shame of your weaknesses and impurities ever cause you to hesitate to hold out a dirty cup to the beloved. Our weaknesses and impurities can awaken in us compassion, which is the most precious gift the beloved bestows in this world. What is compassion? It is a love that is willing to kneel down and share in the pain of others. How is this possible if we have not known their suffering? One like Saint Francis was even willing to allow his heart to be transformed into another's pain. And for that, he became the beloved of our beloved. And that's, Jeff Wolverton. And this one is called What About Me? But what about me? Great souls have gone before us who braved the terrible agony of defeat, who climbed the sheer mountain of human imagination, and losing their footing, fell into the unspeakable chasm of oblivion before descending into paradise. All this I've heard about, listening in vivid detail. I only laughed to myself at such graphic depictions of the end game, never thinking that it could be so unutterably harrowing. But now I catch a glimpse of what is to come, and I flee from such visions, preferring the comfortable round of daily life, surrounded by close friends and observing the customary devotions. Naively, I'm counting on your gentle intervention when the time comes, which is Baba's intervention. And so I stay far, far from the goal, utter oblivion in your final embrace. Jai Baba. Thank you.
Baba, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Michael Childs. Michael, you're muted.
Right. I
You're not
think
muted.
that's your doing, actually. How's it now? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I volunteered to say a couple of poems at Amartithi, so I'd like to run them by you. And they like bookends to my experience of the Darshan of '69. One when I was working for New Line Cinema and I was driving across Tennessee, visiting universities. And as on I-40, the road is rolling hills. So I would get to the top of a hill, and I'd see these mountains, the Great Smoky Mountains, and then I go into the trough and nothing, and then up and down for miles and miles. And I finally ended up camping at an Indian reservation in the Smoky Mountains, and all this imagery comes from that. And I was 1 month away from getting on the plane to India. And I wrote this song to a woman whom I love dearly. And on the last day of the Darshan, I said, you know, everybody sung their song to Baba, and I don't have a song for him. But I realized that this particular song, the woman, I'd used the woman's name, which was Bonnie. And, you know, it was only a couple of syllables or vowels away from Baba. And I had, so instead of feeling sorry for myself, I realized that I had written the song before I even got to Darshan. So here's how it goes without the music. Do you hear the flowers weeping in the morning? Do you see the leaves thrashing in the wind? They are sighing in the ecstasy of the lover's arms. They are reaching for the sun. Oh, can you hear them? Listen to the bubbling stream beside you. Watch the droplets dancing in the sunlight. They're flowing ever onward until they reach the sea, and there, with salty tears, they will be one. Baba, I am calling, calling, calling for you, Baba. My lips forever sing your name. Take these words that I cannot speak, I forgot the words. Turn them into flowers with your love. The sun shines with the brilliance of noontime. The clouds drift by like broken dreams. The mountains ring with joy as they disappear from view. And I see what I've never seen before. I see love in the flowers and the trees. I see love in the people that I meet. I see love everywhere and in everything. Behind each separate form, I know we're one. Baba, I'm calling, calling, calling for you, Baba. My lips forever sing your name. Listen to the words I cannot speak. Turn them into flowers with your love. Listen to the flowers weeping in the morning. Watch the leaves thrashing in the wind. We are sighing in the ecstasy of our lover's arms. We are reaching for the sun. Oh, can you hear us? Listen to the bubbling stream beside you. Watch the droplets dancing in the sunlight. We are flowing ever onward until we reach the sea, and there with salty tears, we will be one. Baba, Baba, Baba. The second song is a prayer, an arti that I wrote after I was back in this country after a month. And I knew that I had stood face to face with God. And I had placed my head at the sandals on the chair and said inwardly, take me. So there I was on the beachfront of the Mayor's Center, dissatisfied with all the artis and prayers I'd heard. And these words came to me and the music came to me. And I'd studied composition for years, but nothing I'd written really was my own. It was derivative of other things. But this one just amalgamated everything, including the lyrics. Take me, a prayer for a new age. Here I stand by the ocean's edge, worn and ravaged by the roaring wind, washed by the waves of relentless time. Lord, I've waited long for thee. I know thee to be infinite love, beyond the compass of any mind, and though my tongue uses finite words, be not deaf to this lover's prayer. Currents of fear swirl about my feet, loosening the hold that I have on thee. Clouds of worries cast shadows that keep thy love from my sight. My brothers long to see thy face, but lost in pain, they feel only fear. Lift them up, Lord, with thy grace, and cause their darkness to be filled with light. O God, in thy glory, fill the world with peace. Let men stand as brothers side by side and build a new humanity. And Lord, as I stumble on this rocky path of life, let thy light forever guide my way. May my every word and deed be worthy of thy love. And when my time has come, according to thy will, take me. Oh, take me. Melted in the furnace of the game of life, purity of thought is slowly formed. Torn by the opposites of worldly strife, our ignorance falls like a worn-out shell. And when we turn our sight within, we learn to value love above all. When this love shines like the sun, then you and I become one, like the sun. O God, creator, omnipotent, I ask thee for nothing. Naked I stand before thy gaze, clothed in the mantle thou hast given me. O God, beloved of all true loves, beloved beyond all time and space, knower of my heart and mind, I would be one with thee. O God, and thy glory fill the world with peace. Let us stand like family side by side and build a new humanity. And Lord, as I stumble on this rocky path of life, let thy light forever guide my way. May my every word and deed be worthy of thy love. And when my time has come, according to thy will, take me, take me, take me, oh, take me. Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Michael.
So am I entitled to another poem?
Is it very long?
Oh, it's only 40 pages and 200 verses. But I'll shorten it.
Well, we can do another round. Well, I mean, I don't, I don't, go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
Thanks, Max. Guzzle G from an alphabet of guzzles. I yearn for my pleasure like I yearn for you. But once attained, a dissatisfaction still remains. Over and over, the cycle turns and turns, never closer, never further, never the final embrace that would be my end and my beginning, the one in which I find self, embracing self, the universe disappearing, the glance, the touch, the bliss of being one, the stillness of the very core that blazes forth creation. I seek that union with thee, Lord. Thou art the woman of my heart, the mistress of my soul. Like Odysseus' son his way to Penelope, I have been with others, but always, always true to thee. Touch me, caress me, take me in your arms. You are my soul, my only love, the one whom I adore. Inconstant, faithless, a traitor to your name, shameless and brazen, I stand before your door. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Michael, thank you. Betty, I want to ask a sort of procedural question. I like to, you can see the gallery view and the speaker view. It's all in the top right.
Yeah.
And I like to tune in on a speaker when they're up. But tonight, for the first time ever, whenever I click speaker, it like the big screen shows me. And I'm not saying anything. And I don't, so I get rid of it because I'm afraid everybody's seeing me. And
No,
is there any way to fix that so when I click speaker, I can actually get the speaker?
We're not seeing just you, we're seeing the people.
we aren't,
Okay,
we are not.
wait a minute. Try if I go like this. So you're not seeing me.
Well,
No.
now, yes, but we,
Yeah,
now,
well, that's what I did. I just clicked speaker. And, well, I'm the speaker. Never mind. Okay, I wasn't
It's working
the
okay.
speaker those other times. Okay. Anyway,
sounds like a glitch, but
yeah, I'll just work with it. It's okay. But
Okay.
yeah, okay. So I'm next, and after me is Ben Leet, and then Steve Slamenda, and then Betty Lohman, Rick Isaacs, Ellen Van Allen, Bob Yeager if he wants to, and then anybody else.
Max, we get whoever's speaking is who's showing up in the whole screen, at least for me.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't happening.
that's fine.
It
Oh.
wasn't
Except
happening.
When you
Okay.
speak, Max, I see Melanie. It's really strange.
Are you actually serious? Okay.
No, no, no.
Okay, well,
He's
I can understand, Tony. You have her on your mind. Yes. So, okay, I'm intending to read probably 2 poems and a short piece of prose. This is a poem that I wrote today. I was actually looking, I had a really inspiring experience over the weekend writing in my notebook. And I wrote this essay first that was very inspiring. It was kind of breakthrough. I felt, we'll see when I finally, if I can ever read my handwriting and type it up. And then I wrote a poem that was also very inspiring because a lot of energy had been released. And this morning I looked for that poem, and I thought I read this thing that was right after the essay in my notebook, and it was okay, but I thought, was I excited about that? And so, but it didn't, so I pieced together a few of these things that I thought might be it or something, and I came up with this thing I'm going to read. And then later during the day, I realized I think I put that illuminate. I'm not saying illumine, but colloquially, experience poem. And I found it in the back of the notebook, so it wasn't consecutive. So I still have it to look forward to seeing if. Of course, maybe it'll seem like nothing, but it was really exciting to write. Anyway, I cobbled this together from several manuscripts. Is my time up now? I'm kidding.
You the boss.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. So this is called Footprints, Testimony. Preamble. Glasses, sorry. Preamble. You're on a path. You're on the path. You see footprints. Are they the beloved's leading you onward? Or your own going in circles? Sometimes nothing is clear. I write to you incessantly, Baba. Major Tom to ground control. That's a David Bowie song for anybody who doesn't know. And then often later can't read my own writing. But then why should I have to? Some of the knots I've created for myself this life are so thick it seems there's no way onward. And then a time comes with the heady feeling of having broken through. The incomparable expansiveness of love, the self-validating enthusiasm of true inspiration. Oh, beloved, I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve here. You say you don't do miracles, but miracles have kept me alive all this life. Only you know this the way I know it. And when I founder, as I still do sometimes, you are the only one I can call out to who truly knows the exact situation and even the reason for it, which I myself may not know. And I think still, am I crazy to be so vulnerable and calling out to a picture and a beloved in my heart? Can he hear me with all the traffic, all the noises of bombs, the poison and the honey of human thoughts and deeds pressing in on him? Yet here I am, ultimately naked and calling out to you. And against all odds, still walking this path, still remembering you, still blundering a bit from time to time, still being saved in ways I cannot see or fathom. Okay, Baba.
Beautiful, Max.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is something. I have a book of stories, that autobiographical stories, and this is in one of them. And I think wait a minute. I got to make sure. I thought I had it on the right page. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Okay. So I lived in Chinatown in San Francisco in 1979 for about 6 months after my first pilgrimage to India. And it was a chapter of my life that didn't end well, but fortunately it led to another chapter. And this particular vignette was very inspiring, as I hope will communicate. One night near the end of that period, I'm jogging through the city and go into an open Texaco station to ask the night attendant if I might use the bathroom. He's a nice looking English fellow about my age. His name's Eden Hutton. We strike up a conversation and I mention Baba to him. Eden is clearly a seeker of truth. I was able to sense it after just a little while. I invite him to visit me at my rooming house sometime, and a few evenings later he comes. There's a particular reason I want him to come. He's a nice fellow. In fact, just about the only real friend or potential friend I feel I've made during my 6 months in the city. I want him to feel what I feel in my room, the wall. I have one entire wall covered with posters of Meher Baba and glorious nature photos that also feature profound Baba quotes, such as love is essentially self-communicative. Those who do not have it catch it from those who haven't. Some of the longer quotes too. The thing is that for several weeks, as I built this collection, it's taken on a life of its own. There is light. There is, in fact, love coming off this wall almost all the time, rising like a great natural force. It bathes me, it feeds me. And yet, before Eden arrives, no one else has ever been here to see and feel it. It's like a wall demarcating the world of form from the further beyond of God's formless love. When I lie in bed at night, awash in it, I feel I'm the most fortunate person alive. Eden comes, and I put on a kettle for tea. While it perks, I take him to the wall. It's not far to go, as the room is small. He stands before it, taking it in, and then I see with my physical eyes a pink cloud rising up from the wall, or possibly from one of the photos. I watch it hover in the air a bit, and then go straight down into Eden, right into the top of his head. Exactly what did I witness? Was he aware of it? I refrain from saying anything about what I observed, nor does he mention anything. We have tea and talk a bit, and then he leaves. Well, shortly after that comes, well, the kick. I never see Eden again, and there's a very good chance I never will. So, yeah. And I had that experience with somebody else. I was playing a tape of one of the Mongoli, I think, an audio tape, and I saw the cloud go into this person. Probably some of you have had that kind of experience too. I wouldn't be unlikely. This is one that a lot of people seem to enjoy. This was written about the "Don't Worry, Be Happy" poster, which I have. Well, I think that poem mentions it. "Don't worry, be happy" poster. I need that. Both your smiling face and those exact words. They added "do your best, then ... to the little cards at one point to rope in the hippies. The time for responsibility had come. No more loafers, stoners. Finish college, get a job, even wear a suit. That was how the winds were blowing then. Now it's different, I think. I at least worry too much. How can we even know? Wait, no. And most of all, I worry whether I'm doing my best. How can we even know? We all do our best to do our best, don't we? I'm going to pause for a second. The day after I wrote this, I was at Safeway and getting checked out, and I was the second person in line. And when I was waiting, a friend of the cashier's walked by and said to the cashier, "How are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I'm doing my best to do my best." He took my line that I'd written the night before. And I said, when it got to be my turn, I said to him, was that something that people say a lot, or was it just something that you made up? And, he said, "Yeah, I made it up. I was quite proud of myself." So, I mean, Bob was somehow confirming that or something. It was amazing. Anyway, and most of all, I worry whether I'm doing my best. How can we even know? We all do our best to do our best, don't we? Don Stevens was fortunate, Baba. You removed his very capacity to worry the first day he met you. You took mine away too, but it came back some years later. Elizabeth used to say, "Not worrying is your order," that perhaps we can only obey your orders by your grace. Baba, these days in the evenings, my wife and I stand in front of the poster I framed with a golden mat 25 years ago. And as the light falls across your face, we recite our prayers, hands pressed together over our hearts. I see the why of "when two or more are gathered in my name," because saying them together creates a channel that solitary recitation doesn't always do. Your eyes narrow in their intent gaze, and you seem so happy, Baba. Worry flies away as our concentration rests entirely upon you and on gently harmonizing our voices. The very question of doing my best dissolves in the joy that rises line by line.
Wow.
Yeah, Baba.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Too, Baba.
Okay, over to you, Ben.
Beautiful.
You're muted, Ben. Ben, you're muted. I don't read lips.
Oh, great. There we are.
There you go.
Do you hear me? Good. Well, I was gonna ask you, didn't your world turn pink when you first met Baba?
Me?
And I want,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
you,
yeah. Did
you
it for
wrote
you?
about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, there was a subtle feeling of pink. I don't know if it was a visual thing or not. Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah, I
for
guess
a
maybe the
poet,
pink. Huh?
it's almost equal. The subtle thing and the physical thing.
Yeah.
They're quite similar.
Hmm.
That's why I come to these, even though I don't listen to the poetry, I just get the feeling that comes out of it.
What? Okay, Ben, you're out of here. You're out of here.
Okay, right. So I'm going to read this short little thing by Mark Brutus, who passed, I guess, a year or so ago. If I could but find your feet in my night, or a thread on your daman, or a leaf, or a leaf that you touched, or a rose you smiled on, or a breath you exhaled. If I could but find your feet pacing, pacing my heart within, footprints on my soul, their beauty in mind's eye, trampling my ego. If I could but find your feet and see traces in all feet, and love and respect all I meet, and know you to be there. If I could but find your feet and surrender and obey and love and trust. Mark Brutus.
Mm.
So weren't you, didn't you have a poem about footsteps just a minute ago? Somebody did.
The one of them had that in the title, and footprints. It started with an image of footprints, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that was sort of like doing my best to do my best. Just to happen to happen. Okay, this is a poem that I plagiarized from David Stewart. David Stewart, he lives in Australia.
Is he
And
still alive?
I don't know.
I think maybe I read in the introduction that he wasn't around anymore, but I'm not positive about that.
Yeah, he was older than me, so he could easily be gone. Well, he wrote a book called Burning Illusion, and it was published by Paul Smith in Australia. And this is sort of like his poem. It's a little bit longer, and it doesn't have a title. Angels are opening the folds of Maya's tent, a sevenfold curtain through which God's name is sent. Both sheikh and showman, rishi and lowman are praising God's glory on knees bent. Love's quiet hour of dispensation, long awaited, spills forth from a starry firmament. Nothing into nothing is this universe's sole event, while love crosses the abyss, which is the universe's sole accomplishment. God's prodigality in blessing one and all results in rivers reversing their natural current. Lips that would kiss illusion instead are kissing God. And such is the universality of love's magnificence. For love is infinite and relative, as though to Maya's laws, the laws of love are lent. Gazing deeply into the pool of Meher's eyes, Dave seeks the marriage of his will with Meher's intent. And if Dave holds to Meher's daman till the very end, he may never know which way illusion went.
Hmm.
Okay,
Wow.
so that's close enough.
So you said you plagiarized that poem from David Stewart?
Yeah, he basically wrote the structure of the poem, and it was too short. I wanted to make it longer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I read one. There was a philosophy book, a philosophy of art that we were supposed to read in college, and I did read part of it. Charles Collingwood was an English philosopher.
Hmm.
He said that the main thing that the Western civilization has to do is get rid of all the laws about plagiarism because people have to be able to borrow from one another. Still remember that. Anyway.
I wanted to give him credit. This one I didn't plagiarize, and it's I wrote this in Myrtle Beach after a stay there. This is called Kindliness Personified. Fixing a leaky rubber washer on the faucet, brewing a cup of tea, watching the ceiling fan whirl. I pause. I stop the nonsense and the noise. I note the solicitous kindliness of your face, expressing humor and expectancy. I breathe deeply and I hold it. I feel my body and its discomforts. I observe quietly and acknowledge your presence. I start to take note. I observe the speed limits. I stop the news. I listen to hums and noises. I look for roses or gasoline spills on wet pavement that crest exotic iridescence never before observed, mixing the sun with the rain's puddles. I find my old dead habits tiresome. I watch clouds mix 100 shades of gray. I collect shells on the beach. I ponder death and its secret. I wonder on Bayezid and his Baka and Fana in Arabia a dozen centuries ago. I imagine the supernatural wine of vision whose power changes the leper's wounds to wondrous beauty. The dull can be transformed with effort. The dull does not escape the universe, but changes. In reading a novel, I watch the detective Nero Wolfe sit in a chair, and the song I play on the piano sings by itself, and it sings. While rowing on the lake, I peer through the rolling fog piling in from the beach at the branches of a wildly asymmetrical winter tree. I wait for a perfect photo, and the boat drifts on, and 5 minutes pass. The concussions cease, and the dullness eases, and my receptivity brightens. I find your humanity and the possibility of my own, and I listen to the song lovingly sung to the caged bird, and the bird listens to the love. And I wait outside the barn to hear your stillness, and you greet me in photos not of you. And the war in myself calms, and I expand in humanness my appreciation to you. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. Wow. Thank you, Ben. Yeah. Wow. I'm feeling that maybe before we do this again, uh, maybe it would be a nice thing to, allow a period for anybody to comment. Everybody, I feel I have the license to comment because I'm the moderator, but maybe other people, there should be a time when if anybody wants to comment. Anybody want to? I thought that was lovely personally.
Well,
but Yes,
I,
Steve.
I loved all the poems, Ben, but the second one, whoever wrote it, between the two of you, I would love to be able to read that poem. It's so dense. There's so much in there. I would love to be able to just spend time with it. So
Yeah.
is there a way to do that?
Hmm.
Or
No.
might there be a way to do that? No?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I have your email, don't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll type it up and send it to
Okay.
you.
And then I'll rewrite it and it'll become my poem.
We could do a chain poem. That'd be cool. I mean,
No, thank you very much for that.
Good idea.
I just want to say, Ben, I loved that. You read that once before in one of these.
Yeah.
And I loved it then, and I love it now. The last one that you did, the incredible smallness and greatness of it.
Yeah, I wrote down the line, the dull does not escape the universe, but changes. So I think you can quote it, at least on my scratch paper, but I may use it somewhere.
Beautiful.
Give it to
Oh,
you.
good. You can use it, Max.
Your name, only with your name. Yeah. Okay, let's see. The next poet is Mary McDonald.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to do two poems. I have a little longer one and then a very short one that's kind of funny.
Mhm. Good.
So my first poem, it's called a coat worn lightly. Baba, you are my everything. Each breath I take is a gift from you. What you ask is so simple and asked with feeling in silent words of love. Use this body, but wear your coat lightly, you whisper in my ear. Serve humanity, forget yourself, remember God, long only to become one with me. Wear the coat, but forget the self. Through you, Baba, I so easily see the universal Christ in all of my brothers and sisters. I sense and feel you everywhere. You are in the trees, you are in the babbling brook, the laughter of the child, and those who smile through the pain of aging. I long for you, Baba. I long to surrender only into your love, now and forever. I hold you in my heart and soul, so thankful for the boundless gift that my soul has always longed for. How could you be so personal, so divine, so beyond the comprehension of my worldly mind? Who wouldn't want that kind of love? Who wouldn't want to wake up in the morning or fall asleep at night, knowing in the silence of your words, in the feel of your hand on our shoulder, that you are nearer to us than our own breath? Baba, now and forever, teach me to wear my earthly coat lightly. Let me use my life only to love you, to serve others, to forget myself, and joyfully live my life only for you. The God in me will do its work until my tattered coat is so worn out that surrendering into your boundless love is all that is left for me to joyfully do as I find my way back home to you.
Hmm.
And then I just have one silly one. This kind of came up. Jeannie and I are on a Zoom book reading on Tuesdays, and one of the persons that attended said that at the Mare Center, which I've never been to, they used to have square dancing and things like that. And she said now the people are so old, they show up with walkers.
Oh.
So this is my silly poem I wrote about just the idea of that. This is called Dancing with Baba. I've been dancing with Baba my whole life long, so filled with love I can still hear his song. I may be old, but my heart is young. My bones may be creaking, but I'm not done. So give me my walker, move out of the way. I'm ready to party. So what do you say?
Okay.
That's it. Jai Baba.
Perfect,
Hey,
great.
Baba.
Hey,
It
Rob.
was funny.
Yeah, great rhymes. Steve
Okay, that's
Flamenda.
all for me.
Okay, Steve Flamenda.
Can I make a little comment since he's Mike?
Sure.
I love that part, Mary, where you say, "Who wouldn't want
Yeah.
that kind of love?"
Yeah.
Oh my God, don't you, we
Yeah.
all feel that. And you know what? I love being with all of you so much because we're family. And you know what I love too? Even the cats and the dogs show up for these Zooms. I mean, like, and Baba loved all the animals and they show up, you know? And I just love all of you. I love what we do together. It's just such a blessing.
Oh,
Oh, Jay Baba, I love you all.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that Valentine to all of us.
I like to say,
Absolutely. Jay
I'd like
Baba.
to-
Jay
I'd
Bob.
like to say that I think your poems are very, very sweet. And
Thank you.
as soon as you open your mouth, I could just feel this love coming from you, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I feel it from all of you too. It's like, aren't we so blessed and lucky to
Mm,
have, you know, I mean, all of you have been to India. I've never been there.
mm,
I've never been anywhere except I got my friend Liam Mullen that Ben and Max know. He brought Baba into my life through just one of his little cards and pictures, and my life is upended, and I live only for Baba and only to be with you now.
Wow.
wow.
So isn't it the best?
Yeah.
Just the best.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wrote something this morning that's kind of funny. I don't know. I wrote it at 5:22 a.m. when I was looking at, it's Marcia. Yeah.
Okay.
Does somebody else want to go?
Let's go through the order first, and then we can.
Oh, okay, sure.
Steve Flamenda.
Sorry.
Okay, I want to make sure everybody.
I'm
gets-
sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, hi. Thank you all for your words today or tonight, wherever you are. And thank you again, Max, for bringing us together.
Yes, absolutely.
I was thinking about Amartithi when I was thinking about this evening. And it reminded me of a quotation that I think is Jacques Derrida, but I'm not sure. Anyway, the quote is, presence is known only in absence, and in the space between the two, desire is born.
Mm.
And it made me think about how my relationship with Baba, he's so good at sleight of hand, I guess, that I know him in his absence. And so I find his presence in his absence. So I was thinking about Amartithi, and, the physical body is gone. And so where have I most, I think, in the material world experienced Baba in sort of in the body, in the material sense. So I dug up a couple of poems about Samadhi and one about Lagoon Cabin. And so this poem is called Samadhi. Beloved, in the wake of your long sleep, you have left us this perfect form, from the cryptic deep of your repose like a single rose ascending to the constellation of lovers encircling you above. Who would not care to breathe this rarest air in offering body and soul? And here in the moment of the bow, whispered to the inner ear, "Oh, my lover, how far you've come. Now, welcome home, welcome home."
Beautiful.
And this is Lagoon Cabin. Early morning in the Lagoon Cabin, sitting in quiet contemplation of a chair where no one sits. An empty chair, yet I feel his presence where he was. I see him in the splendor of space, still radiant with his form. There is nothing for me but to bathe in the immediacy of his absence, and in his lingering fragrance feel my heart awaken. Beyond the window, a bird song rides on the silent air, calling, "Receive, receive, receive."
Mm. Mhm.
And this is trying to capture for myself experience of morning arti at Samadhi. A tale. It was a tale too beautiful to be told, roses petal by petal unfolding at his threshold. You and I were there. He played us as a chord of single notes as our voices rose on the names of the Lord. There was music, prayer, and poetry, a well of tears, and a place beyond too deep for tears to fall. It was all fragrance and grace, in the present tense of living, splitting the infinitive of time. It was the story of an hour, a procession of faces bathing in his radiance, souls petal by petal unfolding at his threshold. It was a tale too beautiful to be told, and you and I were there.
Mm.
Oh, Jay Baba.
That's beautiful.
Love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for now because we've got other people to get through. So
Thank you.
I love how elegantly you phrase things in your words.
uh,
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
yeah, likewise, Michael.
Thanks.
Next is on our list is Betty Lohman.
Okay, I wrote this poem in 1999 when I went to Amartithi. It's the one, it's the one poem I've written. So, so here we go. Blue Moon Amartithi, 1999. Jubilation, Jubilee, it's Mayor's Jamboree. They came by bullock, bus, and plane, by jeep and tractor, truck and train. We're here, all shouting with glee, old friends greeting, soul hearts again meeting. Then up the hill they went to Heart's home for timeless time with the beloved. A village grew on the path to his door. Mayhair tea, mayhair flowers, mayhair sweets, mayhair's wine, free for all. Then celebration, jubilee, music, dancing, hearts on fire, joyful hearts, quiet hearts, baby hearts, grandma and grandpa hearts, young lovers' hearts, all his, all through the night. Maher's light shone radiant o'er the wild, wide Indian sky, from the heart of Mehrabad to hearts of his lovers everywhere on Amartithi night. Then morning, the last musicians sang. At noon, all hearts were silent. 15 minutes of communion with the one who brought us. Finally, the lovers were leaving. Beddings rolled, belongings gathered, babies and baggage toted downhill, hearts full, last embraces, lovers headed home. The village was cleared, the pandal came down, the jeeps, the bullocks drove back into town, the hill now quiet, his presence remains. That was Amartithi. Next year, come again.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Beautiful.
My good friend Fred at Artie made this into a song. It's a great song that he sings.
Mm.
That was nice.
That's great.
Wow. Beautiful.
Shall I read Rosa's poems at this time?
One or two, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Or three, I mean.
Okay. So here's the first one. This is our good friend who has many names. She's Katie Rose. She's Rosa.
Katie couldn't stay up this late, so she
yeah.
was happy that somebody wanted to read her poems.
So this one is called Burn and Grow. Burn in the fire of self-immolation, grow from those life-giving cinders. Feel the power of love stream pushing against the floodgates. An internal tsunami is building. How blessed I feel, for love is my teacher and she lives in my heart. With enthusiasm, I welcomed her into the mainstream of my life, leading the way, truing all my ways. Brother Rumi has said, it is only love that we grow. I am yearning to be free, to expand far beyond old boundaries. A deeper faith, trust, and surrender have taken root in my being, creating a map without limits on love. Every step of the path, gracefully unfolding, is illumined by soft gold light. Oh, friend, turn from the playthings you cherished so dearly. Drink deeply from the sacred spring within you and enter a new life the time has come.
Oh, yay.
Mm.
Love that.
I can.
Hmm.
Oh, painting, sorry, I have to. Someone go ahead and I need to find the other two that she had. Would that be
Okay.
all right?
Yeah, Rick Isaacs, ready? You've had a long wait. This is Rick's first time here. Unmute yourself. Wait. Yeah, unmute yourself. We still can't hear you, Rick.
I can't see him.
Okay, but
Hmm.
hopefully you'll hear him. In the top right, there should be a. Oh, you're on your phone. I don't know how to do it on a phone.
There's Rick.
Huh? Yeah, but we
I
still
see
can't hear him.
Rick.
Yeah, I see him, but I don't hear him. He can't figure out how to do.
Oh, you want to?
There you go. All right.
There he is.
All right.
Hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba.
As I was saying to nobody in particular a minute ago, I'm pleased to join this wonderful company.
Yes, me too.
I have a couple long ones that I won't indulge in, and a couple short ones that I will. The owl plummets into deep grass, holds there, her wing outspread on earth, awkward against this foreign medium as she secures her grip. Pelicans have it easier, crumpling in flight, entering a sea not quite so foreign, penetrating, while here the rest of us are splayed across the ground. The owl rises heavy, banking to the oak. She calls, for you, for me. She repeats her patient questioning, yet long minutes wait between. So we have near forgotten when she again reminds us she needs our answer. The borderlands bleed both ways, bright and dark this twilight. The door is open. There is so much yet for us to gather, so much yet to shed on either way. We must decide.
Wow, beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Let's see. Is Ellen Van Allen still here?
Not yet, Max.
Oh, Rick, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you paused so long. I apologize.
It was a long pause. I was
Okay.
either letting it sit in or preparing myself.
Okay.
This is a response that I wrote many years ago to one of the patients in my nursing home who had written about Mission San Antonio. And I responded for this way. 40 years ago, we rode up from the coast, from hippie happenings in cool, dim Lime Kiln Canyon, from narcissistic rapture out of Esalen, where I unwisely cut in front of Gray Fritz Pearls at the bar to receive his baleful, snake-eyed stare, a minor deity offended. Over the Santa Lucia to Nacimiento Road, through the sparse, dry oaks beloved by the Salinan tribe. Each tree fed a family of 8 for half a year with proper grinding. Stone on stone, the acorns perished between rock and hard place, leaving 1,000-year-old sockets in the bedrock. Before bitter mash was packed in coil-woven sieves and leached of tannin into oak-bred manna, bringing oak life to the Oak tribe people. Across Hunter Liggett artillery range, where modern warriors practice with the tools that make men perish between steel and hard earth, to process human mash with napalm's hideous flambeau, to leach their remains in jungle rain, to feed a politician's family for half a career. We came to Mission San Antonio de Padua, moldering stucco over hand-pressed bricks, adobe clay trod with grass and squared, baked in the Nacimiento heat, and piled arithmetically to make a church, strung on great wide beams, now dark with centuries of pine smoke torchlight, incense lamp black, where dim, discolored light was foisted on the oak tribes. The Selenin acclimatized to drought and the terrible familiar pulse of plenty and privation, subject now to alien ritual, pandemic, and enslavement to invasive crops and men and cults, they erected in survivors' sad goodwill this temple to the white-skinned god, whose ambiguous death on the tree prefigured their own extermination between masonry and hard-packed earth. We were met by a young monk, tall and dark, his coarse white cassock cinched with rope. Its hem caressed the stone floor as an eyelid sweeps its cornea. He pointed out the upper wall to the frescoed music stabs of fading primitive notation and the Latin words below. And then he sang the verse displayed, full baritone echoing from the stone, the music of an ancient holy aspiration filled the hall. Old spare medieval intervals rang true, incarnate faith between blue sky and the sage dry earth, awakening the hope the Spanish friars brought, the hope the fading oak tribes died to grasp, the hope we still pursue.
Yeah, Jay Baba.
Wow.
Powerful.
That's enough. I think the others I have are a little bit too long.
Okay, maybe next time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Go
Ralph.
ahead.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think Ellen, Van Allen is, you're not here anymore, are you? Well, you wouldn't answer if you're not here. Let's, Bob, do you want to read anything or recite anything tonight? Bob Yeager?
Oh, gosh, thanks, Max. I thought this was going to be earlier. I got my time all messed up. I didn't think I
Yeah.
was going to be able to make
Okay.
it, but
right.
I will read one short one that
Okay, great.
I wrote last summer, and I just been doing a little revising on it. It's titled Estate Sale.
Mhm.
Yard sale signs sprout like weeds. Heart takes note, begins composing its simple invitation. All free. Everything must go until empty. Mind shrieks, gripped in fear, as weary heart stakes its sign, praying, please come, beloved, take as you wish. Jay Bob.
Jay Baba.
Okay, so let's see. I don't think we left anybody out. Anybody else that hasn't? Deborah, did you want to read anything or recite anything? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. I can't hear you. Yeah. Can you unmute yourself?
Thank you. Definitely next time. So
Okay,
someone
great.
else
All
can
right.
go, but thank you.
Okay, sure. Anybody else? Ralph Jackson, are you here? Do you want to say something? Do an extemporaneous. You're here. It looks like, Ralph. Are you?
Only silent, but just I'm just listening.
Okay, Ralph. Nice. I just wanted
I
to
don't
hear
have a poem.
Jay Baba, Ralph. Thank you. To hear your voice is a poem for me. Maybe I'll read it next year. I haven't seen Ralph in like 40 years or something. So, okay, man. Take care.
Like a blink of an eye, isn't it?
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. Marcia, you had one that you wanted to do.
Okay, I just
Sure. Yeah.
okay. I was trying to look at poems, and I just wrote this last night at 5 a.m. I woke up tonight reviewing my poetry. They don't seem like poems at all, just messages of things I recall. My poetry reflects my inner being, coming to me as my pen proceeds to do the rest. My best friend is God, resides in my innermost being. My mind is a tape recorder. Sometimes when I lie awake, I draw with my mind like a paint by number set. Colors pop into my head and my brain. Is my pencil sketching in my mind all that I recall? I don't have to think at all. I'm a paintbrush for the beloved. Because he's not in the body, he uses ours. He uses ours to do his work, especially when we knowingly surrender ourselves. We climb into the back seat. He loves to do it all. I just think it's kind of silly.
Hey, Baba. Thank you.
Yeah, Baba. Yeah, Baba.
Well, I know other, huh?
I have one more from Katie Rose.
Okay, great. Yeah, great.
It's called, oh dear, it's called How Strange to Ask. How strange to ask for the light to shine down upon you. Awaken. Divinity is always fully present everywhere for everyone. We are the ones who shut the doors and draw the curtains. They say, give without ceasing, yet a dry well can quench no thirst. So clear the dust from your inner abode. Fill your heart with his holy love and light. Become the fount of light enhancing water for all creation. God's mercy is all around, permeating this long dream. How can we fathom this divine grace that rains down upon us? Oh, beloved, in silence I breathe your name, pouring out my own silent love for you. Jai Baba.
Yeah,
Hey,
Baba.
Baba.
Yeah, Baba.
Hey,
Oh,
Great.
Ben. Yeah, Ben.
Yeah. But this is a short one, and it's about Amartithi
So-
by David Stewart.
Yeah. Here's the book. The cover painting was by Carl Gallagher.
It's beautiful.
Can you show us?
What?
Ben, can you show us the cover
yeah.
again?
Well, can you see it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice
Beautiful.
painting.
Beautiful. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay, this is the title is The Tomb. I should read it twice, I think.
Okay.
The dropped body, a petal left from the eternal rose of being. Still the scent is savored, though you said a cloak merely that you wear. It was cast from the beyond and glows in deathly silence, glorious in a million hearts. So let me read it again because that was pretty dense and pretty quick. The dropped body, a petal left from the eternal rose of being. Still the scent is savored, though you said a cloak merely that you wear. It was cast from the beyond and glows in deathly silence, glorious in a million hearts.
Beautiful.
Wow, beautiful.
Nice.
We have time for one more?
Oh,
Yeah, we, open house. Yeah.
Okay. This is it's in a sense, it's a prose poem. I am love. I was inspired by the love of a woman to break the cords around my heart. No longer was God in a picture or Jesus pinned on a cross. It was the mind-shattering moment of having God in my arms. Simultaneously, I experienced myself as love itself. If you had asked me, who are you really? I would have answered, I am love. I want to shout it from the housetops. I want to shout it in subways in the most wretched slums, in war-torn neighborhoods and countries. I want to whisper it in your ear. I want to whisper it to my children. I want the flame that emblazons my heart to ignite every heart. I want I am love on everyone's lips, on t-shirts, on bumpers, billboards, TV, radio, everywhere. I seek the transformation of mankind. I am love. What does that mean? Egotism? total unawareness of others or their feelings? Can two people say, I am love in the same room and not cancel each other out? Whose love is the real love? Suppose a bubble floating on the surface of the ocean cries out, I am ocean. Is it being presumptuous? Look at the vastness of the ocean. How can one bubble be the entirety of the whole? It is comprised of the same stuff as the whole. Its parts have the same characteristics of the whole ocean. The only quality that it lacks is power. What if billions of bubbles working in concert but billions of bubbles working in concert are a force second to none. Billions of people declaring themselves to be love is a force that will transform the world. Digging deep into the essence of who we really are, and who we really are is love. Infinite, undifferentiated, wise, selfless, and eternal, we discover ultimately, I am love. But to dig that deep involves facing our fears. When I say, I am love, it's not that I'm unafraid. It's that I bring my fears along without allowing them to stop me. I trust myself to endure, to survive, to love wholeheartedly. It's a trust forged in the fires of life and adversity. It's a choice I made 40 years ago to always hold on to the hand of truth, regardless of circumstances, holding on to my integrity with just my fingertips when the world was falling apart around me. Without my conscience, I'm just a body ricocheting in the cause and effect universe without purpose, like a ball in a pinball machine. My link with God, with love, would be broken. Therefore, when I say I am love, I take you, every person in mankind and all living creatures and forms with me into my heart, where you nestle like birds in a tree. I do not know where this will lead, but I will follow it, and I will not stop until all of humanity is touched by love and transformed. In spite of my abjurations to the contrary and my own failings, I swear it, I am love.
Okay, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Okay.
Jai Baba.
Oh.
Is Gail, are you here, Gail? Because if you want to recite something, I forgot to ask you. Are you still here? It says Gail co-host. Okay. I don't know if she's actually present. Okay. Okay, anybody else, or should we call it a night?
Night.
Good night.
Okay.
I have just a few more lines from Katie, short.
Okay.
Can I
All
read
right.
it?
Go
It's
on.
called, How Can I Tell You? How can I tell you what the mind does not know? How can I whisper the fragrance of the divine? How can I point out the one when nothing else exists? The silence is thundering.
Beautiful.
Jai Baba.
All right.
Thank you, Max. This
Oh,
is
thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Max.
Yeah, I hope
It's
see you.
always
Hopefully
beautiful. Thank
see you
you.
in a
Thank you.
Happy
Yeah.
Amartithi. Happy
Jai Baba.
Amartithi.
Yeah, have a
happy
great
Amartithi.
have a great Baba's birthday.
Jai Baba. Jai
Okay, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Bye.
Bye.